What's up, YouTube? I'm just going to continue my way through Tesseract, War of Being. Latest album came out last year. We're on to The Gray. Tesseract, The Gray. Here we go. I like that. Ooh, very funky, groovy. Mm, yep, this is right up my alley. A kind of short bark scream. I like that. Or yell, whatever you want to call that. Ooh, more keys? Whoa. Is that all guitar? Guitar and bass? That sounds fantastic. Especially after that kind of slow, kind of bendy plotting part. Wow. Wow. They're really good at these parts, kind of bringing everything down low. There's a droning like synth in the far back too. Almost strings. Nice. Interesting riff for them. Uh, Interesting. They brought back this kind of bendy plotting thing for the chorus. Huge, obviously. Very, very big, like high arcing stuff. Still like a synth in the background. A ringing, kind of high synth. That bass, the guitar here. Oh my god. Very snappy bass. Damn, dude. Now they're really featuring the bass. Holy shit, this is great. Very subtle kind of guitar licks coming in too. Ooh. Dude, this is so good, this little part here. And then launching into this. We're just going right into the jagged riff, if you want to call it that, I don't know. Now we're back to the bendy thing. Little, it's not a solo, is it? Kinda? It's the most lead we've gotten all song. Nice. Very tasteful, if you want to call this a solo. It's more just for effect. I hope this is not the end. I do wish there was a little bit more going on here, a little bit, but it makes sense. They love these huge operatic choruses, if you want to call it that. Ooh. Okay, where are we going? Those little tings. Ooh. I'm a sucker for this. I feel like this is going to be a hard cutoff in like 8 bars. Coming up here. Yep. I mean, if you do you call that a hard cutoff if they're gonna kind of extend it here? I think that's a song switch. All right. Sorry about the last 30 seconds there. That was Tesseract the Gray or Gray. I don't remember. That was good in a lot of different ways, and then I couldn't get over just kind of the plottiness of the chorus. You've probably heard me say that in a few different songs now. Still better than some of the other ones that are very much on the beat, but I don't want to let that detract from everything else that was going on because there was a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I'm trying to remember exactly everything that was going on. Almost like a, it sounded like a kind of a slappy bass, just genty kind of riff through the verse. Very percussive, whatever they were doing. If that was all bass and guitar, very percussive. And then obviously with the layering of the guitar, there was a kind of a plucky. I call it or think of it as like almost like a kind of a burrowing, like a tool kind of. It makes you think of just like something very primal, just kind of burrowing and digging and weaving in. These guys just do it with a little bit of a cleaner tone. Back when Tool was, back in the '90s, early 2000s and stuff, they were doing it with like a very like ugly, disgusting tone that was awesome in its own way. These guys are doing it with a very clean, very produced. I mean, some may call it overproduced, whatever. Just a very clean tone that still has the same effect. Kind of just like jigga 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 jigga. It's just kind of chilling down there. Obviously, the bass on top of that, the percussive bass on top of that, and then I think it was on the second verse they brought in more of a standard kind of bass sound. Very, I mean, it was a kind of a MIDI bass, not so much the deep, heavy like thumping like low end. This is more like a high mid, like a mid bass kind of thing, where it's almost kind of got like a twang to it, like what was the word I used? Snap, like a snappiness to it. So there's not as much depth to the bass sound, but it's being featured in a different way, which is again, I love that kind of shit. I'm pretty sure the other stuff that was going on at that point was just a very chill kind of drum pattern, and then some of the weird kind of synthy stuff in the background, opening up into a big chorus, huge chorus. I mean, especially on this album, these guys are really leaning into that. They they layered it with like two or three different guitar tracks. Again, mostly, I guess there was the main rhythm. Had a little bit of crunch to it, I think, and then some cleans, almost like harp ish kind of clean tone guitar. If I remember right, could have been production, could have been like keys or something that they did or like dubbed in the background. I don't know. But it's a very full encompassing effect. I think that's something I keep mentioning about their choruses. There's just a lot going on that is very intentional. It's not just the riff or just like the power chords and the vocals and then a backbeat. There's a very purposeful arrangement there that is lifting. It's elevating. It's lifting the entire time. And for this one, again, a little bit too slow, a little bit too bendy for me, but still very effective. And I'm not going to bitch about it anymore. And then, God, I'm trying to remember everything that happened. In the middle, there was something very, very cool. I know they had a weird little solo that they did. Um, if you want to call it a solo, more of just kind of like a way to accent that bit of a transition, or if you want to call it a bridge. Gosh, there was something else cool that happened there. I just can't remember it right now. That's part of the problem with me not pausing things, but I still appreciate it more that way. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of kind of genty riffs in this one. Even the bendy stuff is, very, a gentiness from them. Um, I mean, drumming is always very cool. Not as many crazy fills in this one. A lot of cool cymbal work everywhere. I think I made a couple comments about his little, snaps on top. I'm sure that's just like a small little guy that he's going tss, tss, just to accent like a little bit of dotting in between instead of a fill. I love that. Bass, I already talked a lot about that. Uh, again, not a whole lot to say vocal wise, just a ton of range, and it is arranged very well within the structure of the song itself, and the mix. They put their vocals very. To me, it sounds like it's very far in front of the mix. Um, and it's a focal point for them, which is completely fine. Unfortunately, that's just not what I focus on. But everything else, man, these guys are master technicians. They know exactly what they're doing and what they're trying to evoke from us as the listener. And I can't get enough of it right now. So again, this was Tesseract the Gray. Thanks for watching.